back, full effect, boxing clinic. We got it all together. For some reason, YouTube don't let you rotate portrait to side while the video is rolling, so you got to make a decision, which is dumb to me. You need to fix that shit. But shit, I'm on my air conditioning shit. It's warm as hell up in my bedroom. But yeah, we back. It's the boxing clinic and more. I want to shout out to the brother. Boxing facts over fiction. Y'all go subscribe to the brother. When this video get done uploading, I'll leave his channel link in the description. Definitely got a future in this shit, man. But yeah, wait till some people come on real quick. Yeah, the Mayweather and Tank Davis, shit is starting to get some substance, man. Now, like the brother boxing facts over fiction, it's starting to come out that some things starting to make sense now why Mayweather and Tank beefing, man. Shit we starting to get the equation, and now we starting to being able to add it up. And it goes back to a series of things that happened last year, I believe. What's up, Saul? Like when Shakira Stevenson went on that rant about Ayanna Mayweather, she called him a crybaby for crying and not getting, for losing the Olympics. He shot back, said she had thought everybody fucking her. We could have ran her or something in Atlanta. I didn't really mind following that story, because at the time it just seemed like two teenagers, two kids, just, what I'm saying? It just didn't seem, newsworthy. Kids are going to be kids. It's obviously some animosity there because Shakira didn't sign to Mayweather Promotions, and Mayweather apparently didn't want to sign Shakira after a while. He went over to the rival James Prince. James Prince used to be Floyd Mayweather manager before Al Heyman came in the picture. So it's like, it wasn't no need. But then you had Devin Haney, like boxing facts over fiction. Y'all make sure I go subscribe when this video get done upload. Now I'll leave his video link in the description so you can see his version of it. But when Devin Haney came out and said that Tank was smashing Ayanna Mayweather, that's the 17-year-old daughter of Floyd Mayweather, and boxing facts over fiction, he made some great points about that. He said Mayweather always got her around these gold digging stripper hoes, so those are the women that he's usually gonna look up to. She gonna look up to. And I know y'all be like, well, she got a mother. Yeah, she got a mother. But at the end of the day, when she with her father, the father is kind of like, to a daughter, the father is like the beginning molding and how she wants to see how a man is gonna take care of her, treat her. She sees in Ayanna Mayweather how Mayweather has a revolving door of stripper, gold diggers coming through. So of course she's going to be like, well, my dad makes money. He's a lot of money. He's one of the biggest athletes in the sport, and then in the sports world in general, I need to be like that. So Shakira was telling the truth. He was telling the God honest truth, man, and he was calling her this and that. So we can't be, now we can't underrate what Shakira Stevenson said on his Twitter rant last year. It seemed to have some credence. Devin Haney followed that up. He's in the gym every day. He said that Tank was smashing her. So, I mean, where did this Tank Davis-Floyd Mayweather situation go wrong at? That's what we need to ask ourselves. Where did this situation go wrong at? We don't have no reports of argument. I mean, he took Tank in like a son. He bought Tank cars and jewelry like he do all of them. He always pumping Tank up. And he was good. He was there with the Lima Wells situation. He was training him, sitting in the chair, tutoring him, hitting the bag, and like boxing facts over fiction, who talked about this first, and I'm piggybacking off the homie. Like I said, when this video get done processing, I'm gonna put his channel link in the description to this exact video. Y'all go support him. He a rising star out here, I'm telling y'all. But it's starting to make sense when I watch this video, how it was Shakira, Devin, and then now, it's no reason why that Tank and Mayweather is getting into it. Why? Anybody ask why? A lot of people don't understand why. It's just, oh, the man don't want to see me to win. Tank is playing the victim, but Tank did something. When I sit down, kids or whatever it may be, nephew, my daughter, whoever it may be, You know, they say this happened at school. You know, the first thing I ask them, what did you do? What did you do? You know? I mean, what did you do wrong? And for Tank, ain't nobody ever asked Tank that question in the media. What did he do wrong? Seriously. What did Gervonta Tank Davis do wrong to Floyd Mayweather? Now it seemed to make sense that he did something wrong. He smashed his 17-year-old daughter. And I believe that's a statutory rape. You know, for one. And then, you know, that's you. At the end of the day, Tank is an employee of Mayweather Promotions. You know, it ain't no smoothing that shit out. At the end of the day, he lucky Mayweather to get his head chopped off. You know, because that's what I would have did. I'd have got his head decapitated off his fucking shoulders. You know, I don't give a fuck. You know, you don't do that, man. My daughter is a grown woman. If she's 18, 19, 20, and she can make her own decisions, and she want to be with you, all right, cool. But you know the consequences when you mix business and pleasure. You know it's gonna be some hard feelings, man. Period. It's gonna be a whole bunch of them. You know, Floyd Mayweather is a very insecure individual, and you can imagine somebody like Tank, you know, smashing your daughter, and you look at and he your employee. You know, how can you separate that pleasure and business right there? Tank made that decision, and you know, not only did he smash your daughter is underage, but at the end of the day, you gotta look at yourself in the mirror. Did you raise your daughter right? Look at the type of women and people you had around your daughter your whole life. You know what I'm saying? Look at the example you set by putting your hands on her mom. Look at all these examples you set. So if she out here wild and crazy and doing what a lot of these young girls doing, which is thinking being thoughttorious is it. It's being victorious. No, it ain't. Being thoughttorious, which I just made up in my mind, that ain't cool, man. You know, being an open, you know, open freak, not even open freak, being an open hoe. You know, ain't no badge of honor of that. You know, these women want to act like they men. You know, you can't go over your vagina and the penis is two different things. You know, there's certain things that men can do that women can't do, and women can do and men can't do. You know, and jumping from stick to stick, you a hoe. Now, however you wanna slice it, man, you a hoe. A man can stick as many women, and that's just what it is. He a player. But women trying to change that reality, you can't change that reality. That's always gonna be reality. You a hoe. And being a hoe ain't cool. You can't change that reality, man. And if she out here doing what Shakira Stevenson said, and what they seeing in the gym, and she around them gym niggas every day, what you think them gym niggas doing, dog? They probably running through it. You know what I'm saying? They probably, and then not even only them. You got she traveling to Vegas, to Georgia, man, she probably an open book. And Floyd just got to sit there and face the reality that a lot of these pops got to face out of here. I mean, where did I go wrong at? But for Tank to do that, man, that's hurtful, man. You know, that's real hurtful. That's really hurtful, man. And Mayweather got a right to feel that type of way, because I believe that's his oldest child. So this is a situation that he's foreign to. He might have had sisters and brothers be like that, but that's a totally different ball game when your seed out here, you know, doing it. And then your star pupil, you know, he out here doing that shit. You find that out, you like, man, this motherfucker right here, I'm gonna fuck his career up. You ain't thinking straight. But through all that, look what Mayweather been doing for Tank. He got Albert Machado downgraded, okay? He got Albert Machado downgraded from Super WBA champion to regular WBA champion, and had Tank fight a guy coming off an L at 126 featherweight, and got him a Super WBA championship versus a guy moving up and coming off an L. Come on now. You feel me? Come on. Like Wet Fart say, you know, Shakira Stevenson told you. Yeah, he didn't predict it. He already fucking knew it. I mean, they know. They know. And like I said, being thoughttorious is good and good out here for these women. They think it's cute. You know, and a lot of men think it's cute too. Oh, I'm attracted. She got 3 or 4 kids, man. That pussy got it. Niggas don't care no more, man. I done seen it firsthand. Mayweather needs to down. He ain't nothing that he can do right now, bro. If it ain't been done, she just gonna be busting open. She gonna be an open book right now. She gonna have to just learn by fire and just hope that she wrap it up and protect herself and understand she's a target. There's nothing that he can do at this point. If he lock her down, cut her off, she gonna find another way to still get fixed. You know, she just gonna have to go through these 5 years and hope and pray that she stay clean and pray that she protect herself and do what she gotta do. I mean, he only could teach his other daughters and his other daughter not to do what she doing. You know, but she a grown woman, and that's the reality of that shit. I saw Casual Box Talk. It's supposed to be Joe. Floyd Mayweather is damn near 7. Yeah, she's 17. But it ain't that nobody broke the story. It's making sense. Because, you know, I watch, you know, boxing Factz over Fiction. Y'all go subscribe to him. And Devin Haney, you know, he put it out in the air too. That I'm not saying this is factual. Like I said in the beginning of the video, in the first 2 videos I did where I had to stop and go, it makes sense because nobody can pinpoint why Mayweather and Tank is beefing. And then you go back, Shakur said she had thought in this. Then you go back, Devin Haney said she was fucking Tank. People thought that was a joke. People thought that was a legitimate joke when Devin Haney said that. But Devin Haney was dead serious. Was dead serious about it. You know, even though Shakur and Devin ain't friends no more, according to Shakur Stevenson, he said he don't rock with that guy no more. But a lot of people in that gym know it, man. Shakur called her a thought, and people thought it was funny. I was like, man, he just a young nigga that tried to stick it and couldn't get it, you know, or they beefing over he was crying through to the Olympics. Then you go down to Devin Haney said, I heard it, and she fucked Tank. And then we was just thinking that this was just, you know, man, they just being kids, because they all around the same age. Haney's 19, she's 17, and Stevenson about 20, 21. But Stevenson told y'all, you know, and I want to say Callum Johnson has accepted the Arthur Betterby fight, and I can squeeze that in there. Callum Johnson and Arthur Betterby will fighting for the IBF title. You know, I guess real quick, give a break real quick. I guess the homie Anthony Yard didn't want to fight Callum Johnson either, so Callum Johnson is fighting Anthony Arthur Betterby. I haven't seen Callum Johnson fight that much. I seen he got a knockout, and he was coming off a layoff, so they got to fight there. What's Johnson's coffin size? I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't know why he took the fight, but hey, big ups to him for stepping up when 15 other guys wouldn't step up and take the fight. So we gotta applaud him on that, because 15 people passed up on Arthur Betterby, I believe. But like I said, it's starting to make sense now, man. Floyd Mayweather got out, but Floyd Mayweather still been taking care of Tank. You know, now he's telling Al on everything he doing and shit. And Al must sit down and talk to some of these people, man. He got to, man. You know, he must. I know he talked to DeGale on the day-to-day, or seen on a day-to-day basis. Berto, Jacobs, he talked to them regularly. Obviously, Floyd. But if Tank did that shit, man, I mean, what's done is done. They need to sit down. Leonard Ellerby needs to sit them down as men and clear the air and say, okay, this ain't gonna happen no more, or what the fuck, you know, this ain't gonna happen no more, you know, and clear. But the business relationship and the relationship they got won't be the same. If this is true that he smashed Ayanna Mayweather, it ain't gonna be the same. You know, Floyd is a very insecure little fella, man. He ain't gonna be able to stomach that shit, man. So, you know, I pray that ain't the truth. You know, we're gonna be going live again later, walking the dog. Hopefully we got better luck when it cool down a little bit. John, let me go down. Sub, I've been told who Triple G is fighting next according to a source. I've been told, well, let me know. Johnson has great power, but I don't think he beats Betterby. Philly in the house. What up, Philly? My man, Soldier. TJ Goodfella. I can't see that. My bad, man. This shit can change. Keep up the great work, bro. We tune in every day. I definitely appreciate Philly in the house. I thought that a decision was supposed to be made by AJ yesterday. If he was talking the fight that we hearing. Yeah, I heard something. I'm definitely going to go live with an Eddie Hearn edition when we walk in the dog miles. I'm going to be walking my dog today as usual while I'm off of work for a couple of weeks. We're going to be walking the dog, talking about Eddie Hearn at the park. Might may bring my daughter to tag along. Which one? Shout out to the Super Chat, Escobar Boxing. Which one of the welterweights you think get in the ring with Errol Spence next? After Carlos Ocampo, probably Ugis. It's going to be Ugis or Omar Figueroa. I say Omar Figueroa because he can't make 140 no more. And Omar Figueroa and Errol Spence might sell out American Airlines Arena in Texas or Texas Arena. Omar Figueroa was big, and I think South Dallas and Earl is big in North Dallas. So that's something that they've been talking about, and Omar been bragging about how he beat Earl in the amateurs. You won't find this anywhere else. That's next to my exclusive. You heard it here for Triple G will fight Murata. Yeah, which will piss off Golden Boy. Yeah, you know, Bob Arum offered Ryota. I'm gonna call him Ryota Murata. That's what I'm gonna call him. But he offered Ryota Murata Triple G earlier this year. It's not a surprise. Golden Boy and Canelo will be negotiating next week. It seemed like Golovkin won a lion's share of the split. I don't think that's gonna happen like Fat Apple say. So I think, you know, Triple G gonna have to. Triple G just gonna fight Ryota Murata in Japan, which he did between 15 and 19 million views over there. So Triple G going over to Japan, and he can go over there. I won't give a fuck about him, but I'll watch that shit. That's a good fight. I like Ryota Murata. Your dog got a weak bladder, pissing while walking. Oh no, we fed him we gave him too much water and shit. That's my fault. I gave him too much water. I was stuffing his ass with water. For some reason, his tongue been hanging out. I don't know why. I thought it was just me. He thirsty, but maybe that's just something he trying to look cool or some shit. He really don't piss that much. It's just that we filled that motherfucker. I was giving him big bowls of water and ice. And we know dogs, well, this dog was drinking, eating till that motherfucker can't eat no more. I remember I gave him a Corona on my birthday. I was drunk as fuck. I gave him a whole Corona. That bitch was pissing everywhere. But other than that, he don't even do that. He don't even piss that much. You know, it was just hot outside. And I've been, you know, he used to be in the house, so I be letting him go outside. I can't let him in my backyard. I got a line down, wait for them to come fix it. So, yeah. How can Triple G fight Murata? Isn't he dropping the IBF belt? Well, before we get to the Rigondeaux situation, and I got another thing I'm gonna drop on here because it's gonna be exclusively Eddie Hearn and Danny Jacobs Day on our live stream and questions at the end. Triple X 12. I'm gonna have Punch Quote. I'm gonna get your shit right. Punch Quote. I'm gonna call you by your right name. Punch Quote. Triple G team is prepared to, go to court with the IBF over the ruling they got to fight Sergey Shevchenko. So they going to court. They saying that they ain't got to fight that mandatory per IBF rule. So they going to court. So we'll see how that work out. Will the WC strip Triple G and give the full belt to Charlo? Yeah, at this point I don't know. Cool man, I'm just call you Cool Man said. I don't know. Because at the end of the day, Mauricio Suleiman Jr. loved Triple G a lot. But he must really like Jamal Charlo for giving him a shot and not being a WBC champion, but giving him a high ranking coming from the IBF championship. So he must like Jamal Charlo a lot too. But then again, you look at the situation they in. He said after Triple G Canelo 2, they had to fight Jamal Charlo. So they might strip him. They might let him fight Murata. If it ain't a lot of money in Murata and sanctioned belt fees, they may strip him, but I doubt it. They got infatuation with Triple G, WBC. So, remember Canelo was fighting September and December. Just because they swing and miss on Murata, or they swing and miss on Triple G in September, don't mean they won't come back around and fight him in December. Because Golovkin want to fit 2 or 3 more fights in this year itself. He want to be big time active. So, that's something to look at too. So, I'm not losing no sleep. Like I said, I would watch Murata versus Triple G. I don't have no problem. That's a solid fight, and that's kind of like a mandatory. But before I get to the next question, what I was gonna say, like I said, Triple G should just drop the belts and just be the Super WA champion. He not trying to fight Billy Joe Saunders next neither. I got a couple videos coming I already did for today. You got any McCorkins? No, I don't got none of them in my family that I know of. Triple G will give the belt to Charlo before he fight him. Well, basically, Abel Sanchez told us that twice. He told us that twice on Dante's Boxing Night. They don't have no interest in fighting Jamal Charlo. But what's so funny about it, I got an article, I got a video I'm gonna drop after this where he using Charlo and Danny Jacobs' name in leverage for a Canelo fight. I just ain't dropped it today. I made sure I got that basketball video out early, since the Rockets and Warriors gonna do it. Rigondeaux ducking too many fighters at 118. Tete, yeah, I heard about Emmanuel Rodriguez. I heard he the real deal. I know about Ryan Burnett. I know Tete He the real. In Inoue, he beat Jamie McDowell in Japan. He the real deal. And before, if this is the last question I got, last two questions, I'm gonna fit the World Boxing Super Series tournament in here with this Rigondeaux news. Rigondeaux will walk through the 118. Maybe told, maybe he was too old to cut the weight. I'm about to get to that right now. Rigondeaux never ducked. He fought Lomo, homie. Charlo don't want Jacobs. Don't want any top 20 middleweight. I'm gonna say Charlo Jacobs and all that Eddie Hearn announcement that he got coming. I'm gonna say that for the stream we're gonna do walking the dog today, if weather permits us to. But how can I say? But about the Rigondeaux move, Rigondeaux was advised that he was offered the invitation to the bantamweight World Boxing Super Series tournament. Let me say that, according to my sources, he was given an invitation. Appreciate it if you smash that like button too, and subscribe if you ain't subscribed. You just watching. Appreciate it. Don't forget the homie Boxing Facts Over Fiction. Y'all go subscribe to him as well. He the one that kind of put all that Tank story together and kind of pieced it in my mind. I heard that different stuff, but I didn't really give it no real credence until he put it together. And that brother, you know, he had 119 subscribers. Let's get him a little bit higher. You share that video. He good. He gonna continue to improve too, because that's the way the game go. The more you do videos, the more comfortable you get with it. But yeah, Rigondeaux was given the opportunity to get up in there, but he was advised that, you know, the doctors told him don't cut that much weight. There's too much weight to cut from coming from 130 down to 118. So fighting Lomachenko fucked him up in more than one way, because I was always told that at the age he had too. You know, I was always told that Rigondeaux was a small guy, and that he could kind of cut down to 118 if he wanted to, and that's why I did the videos last year on him potentially facing Inoue at 118. But it's a big opportunity missed. I guess if it's too much weight to cut for him, I respect that right there. But this was his best opportunity to claw back into the boxing world, man. And I definitely stand by that. This was his shining opportunity to win the fans back, because that bantamweight tournament is gonna be better than the cruiserweight tournament. Yeah, no Minute Maid slushy from McDonald's, the truth, man. Whoever thought McDonald's and Taco Bell off subject for a minute had the best slushies? You know, I got 177-11 spot. They got the best slushies. It's kosher slushies. You know, Jewish and Amish people only eat that kosher food out there in this little spot I go to. So that's the only real trio 7-Eleven that's out there. That's really, really good. But yeah, you know, this was his moment right here. And then I mean, this would have been outstanding, because the Manuel Rodriguez guy is really, really good from what I hear. He beat Paul Butler for Viking IBF. Ryan Burnett, I seen him in the Ring IQ boxing guy, Julius Fox. Shout out to my homie Julius Fox. One time for the one time. He believes he's a pound-for-pound fighter. Can't argue with his argument. He got the resume. He just don't got the notoriety. Tite, we already know what he did. He got the fastest knockout in the World Championship boxing match. And they got more names that's going to be named in there as well. So this would have been Rigondeaux, you know, shining moment. Be able to regain it from the fans. But like I said, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know why people lose. And I understand the fashion that Rigondeaux lose then. But I don't understand why people lose in boxing and then they take a long time off. Which in Robert Guerrero, he didn't get knocked out by Mayweather. Guerrero decline, it wasn't mental. Because usually when Mayweather beats guys, it's more mental than physical abuse. Guerrero just sat at home too long and got stagnant. And he lost his prime by inactivity. Rigondeaux is already old. He needs to jump back into the ring. But at the end of the day, at 22, it presents no matches at 22 for him right now. There's nobody at 22 other than Isaac Dogboe that can see him. You know, that probably want to see him. And Isaac Dogboe is probably controlled by top-ranked promotions right now due to the options versus Jesse. So they ain't going to do that. At 126, they continue to run from him. I mean, you know, Frampton, Leo Santa Cruz, Quigg, all of them will run. Oscar Valdez will fight him, but Bob Arum not going to do that. So this was his best opportunity. I believe, I hate to say it, I believe Rigondeaux is pretty much done in boxing. If he misses this opportunity, or, you know, the World Boxing Super Series, before I get to these questions, they doing 3 tournaments now. So we got 140, you got Regis Prograis in there, you got a guy named Ryan Blue Chip Martin, who's stuck with 50 Cent. One of my homies, Travell, he runs the Boxing Traffic 101 on Facebook page. He did some digging last night because I asked if anybody know anything about Ryan Blue Chip Martin. He's a 5'11", 140 pounder. Superb talent. He lost in the Summer Olympics or the Summer Games, whatever it was, to Robert Easter Jr. They're about equal height. He signed with 50 Cent, and I know people saying, well, 50 Cent still promoting. Well, Travell looked into it, and yes, you know, if he parts ways with 50 Cent, he basically owns his life to him. He owns 20% of his purse and all of his, 50 Cent basically gets a nice cut of whatever revenue he got coming in if he breaks away from 50 Cent. So he signed a slave contract with 50 Cent. So I believe he's still with 50 Cent, but he's entering the World Boxing Super Series tournament at 140. Who reaches progress. That's 2 Americans that's in there. You got the guy that got knocked out by Julius Ndongo in Russia, Taransky. You got the Ivan character. You got a guy from Sweden. You got Anthony Yiget. Not a lot of big name guys, but they got 2 more positions to fill. They got 6 guys named. You got the WBA mandatory shot between the guy that Ndongo knocked out, Taransky, whatever that guy's name is. He's going to be taking on Relic, who beat down Ransom Bartholomew. Ransom Bartholomew, his brother, just parted ways with their promoter and handler. Then you go down the IBF Eliminators against Anthony Yiget, and I think the Ivan kid. Then you got Progress, and the Americans Progress, and you got Ryan Martin. They got 2 positions to fill. The ideal positions to be filled, it would be Josh Taylor, in most people's opinion, and I can't remember. Josh Taylor, Adrian Broner, Mikey Garcia, somebody of that nature. They need another big American name at 140. The Flanagan Hooker winner that's going down on the Tyson Fury return card, that'll be ideal. But they need an American or a big name, and I don't want to see Josh Taylor in there. I'm gonna tell you why. Jose Ramirez, I broke the story that he might be facing Danny O'Connor, who's not even in the top 15 in any sanctioned belt bodies, and got knocked out in the first round by a guy with 5 knockouts that Paulie Malignaggi beat at the end of his career. So if Victor Postal, you know, loses to Josh Taylor would be the mandatory, now that Regis Progress is out the way, to Jose Ramirez. And that's 2 mandatories that Bob Beeren will have to try to wiggle out of. And Josh Taylor will beat the dog walking shit out of Jose Ramirez. So I'm going to get to some of these questions. And we're going to continue talking about the next tournament and what's been rumored. Rigondeaux will walk through the 118, maybe 2. Oh, yeah, like I said, he too old to cut weight. We got to them questions. What time is the stream? I'm probably going to do the stream, I'm going to say about 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, between there. Yeah, about 5. I do about 5 to 6, man. I had something to do, but I'm going to just do it next week. Charlo done warn Jacobs. Yeah, I read that one. When was he offered? I heard he was, the source came out, he was offered. It didn't say when, but I heard that he was offered quite some time ago. You know, he was offered quite some time ago. He was offered, and it was said that I heard he been turned down before I even touched out to my source about it. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. He could have cleaned up 118 and messed his career and messed his career up with that long move. Yeah, he did. Because if he would have been patient and didn't, you know, die to move up, patience is a virtue. He at 122 to 118, he could have cut that weight. I'm blaming the LDBC. Those clowns were the main ones pushing with that Lomo ducking. Now, yeah, Lomo say, okay, motherfuckers, you think I'm ducking this motherfucker? Lomo told him, he was like, man, you a king of your weight class, but that's too much weight to be jumping up. I'm gonna fuck you up. And you know, they hyped him head. They hyped his head up. I knew it was gonna happen. I wasn't with him on that one. I mean, it wasn't no doubt in my name, in my mind, what Lomachenko was gonna do. I sure wish he was a big underdog. I took that. I'd have put 100 to 500 on that. Yeah, I said all along. Yeah, right. You're right. Fat Apple almost gonna beat that ass. It's just too much weight. And Lomachenko was a big 126. He was a big 130. I think he's gonna look big on Fight Night with Linares. Y'all done research. Rigondeaux injuries, his hand in the second round against Lomo. I mean, yeah, I reported that. You know, I reported that he injured his hand, but do you believe that? Most people didn't. It would have been a draw had it been dragged out. Nah, he he was just frustrated too, dog. He couldn't do nothing with that man. You know, his left, even if he did injure his left hand, which is a big part though. What's it called? Torn blade. That was a big part because he's a one-handed fighter. You know, but people knew he was a one-handed fighter. Blame yourselves for allowing Leo, Abner, Quigg, and Frampton. Yeah, you know, you can say you can blame them too. They ducked that motherfucker. And then he was saying it was a rumor that, or he said he was potentially going to 126. Them motherfuckers talking about they was gonna move up again. Leo Santa Cruz, I'm going to 130. Then you got Adam Mars, I'm going to 130. You had Frampton, I'm going to 130. They was about to duck him again, so it is what it is. I don't even watch their fights, so keep it moving. Yeah, I like Frampton when he came over to the U.S., but when I heard the shit that he did, I mean, and Alden Mars turned me off with the low blows, but he came back and rematched the African guy. But yeah, I ain't no fan of them, man. I ain't no fan of Mares and Santa Cruz right now, or the rematch. Damn, it'd be nice to go out to Cali, but they doing that Robert Easter Jr. and Robert Easter joint out there, so that might be, if they got a good undercard, I'm gonna make that move. Go back out to Cali. Rigondeaux making false excuses. He was never going to win, and that hand being, yeah, he wasn't going to win, but that nigga doesn't lose his shine. Just all of a sudden, he was dodging Lomo punches. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people say that shit was fishy with those, but everybody quitting versus Lomachenko. You hear that a lot. A lot of people say it was fishy. From Jason Sosa to Nicholas Walters to Rigondeaux, and I know I'm missing one more. You know, who else quit on that ass? You know, Nicholas Walters was a surprise to me. I think I was at work when that fight was happening, and I heard Nicholas Walters quit. I was like, damn. Because it was Rigondeaux, Nicholas Walters, Jason Sosa, and there's one more guy that ended up quitting. I can't remember his name. Taylor and Progress are going to be beating people up unless they fight Bud. Yeah, I think they're going to be the favorite. Hey, that Relic kid that hold that WBA, he ain't no joke. Now, Mikey Garcia should have jumped up in this 140-pound division. I'm pretty sure, since they got 5 names the other day, I'm pretty sure Mikey Garcia was invited to that tournament. But that's why he moved back down. Now you understand why he moved back down now. They already contacted him to get in that tournament. He was like, let me go sign with Dana White. Isn't Taylor going to be the mandatory for the... Yeah. Yup. If he beats Victor Postal, he will. That's going down to his hometown. If Postal don't pull out. Now that Regis Progress is out the way, he's gonna be the mandatory. Loma ain't outboxed Rigo. I mean, he was playing with him. I'm just telling you. I mean, he was playing with him. Too big. I'm making Loma was too good. Don't be delusional. Rigondeaux deserved better than this. Yeah, he did. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, when nobody fights you, and then you got the WBA that's hating on you versus Moses Flores, and they strip you of your belt if you lose it another way. I mean, what can you do? They legitimately took this man's soul, man. They took his boxing career from him. I've never seen nothing like this. Other than the prison system. They legitimately took this man's soul, man. Real shit. They took this guy's soul. Have y'all seen some shit like that? What up, Trap House? Shout out to Trap House Boxing. 1,000 subscribers in the building. 1,000 subscribers, finally. Finally, that nigga done caught up. I'm happy for him. Start making that money. Loma had every advantage by a push. Yeah. Yup. He had the judges, the gloves, all that. He landed more punches than Sugar Ray, his Duran ass. CJ, what's good? What's going on? Yes. Lomo should be at 140. He's too scared. Yeah, legitimately, that might be his ideal weight. People think he gonna look small at 135. Remember, Linares is a guy that came up as well. So, Lomo a big motherfucker, dog. 19th is right around the corner. I think Stevenson is going to sleep Jack. I don't know, man. I hope not. Maybe I'm being an optimist. Optimist, man. Oh, man. I used to be a Stevenson fan, dog. Because Chad Dawson was one of my guys, man. But he was on some bitch shit, man. When Chad Dawson was whooping all the motherfucking asses in the division, was it Tarver, Thomas Adamick, Floyd Mayweather, when he retired, dubbed him the #1 pound-for-pound fighter. People don't know about Chad Dawson's background. People just remember the John Pascal fight, the Hopkins fight, oh, my shoulder, and then the other Hopkins fight, and then the Andre Ward fight, you know. Just Chad Dawson didn't have that drive, dog. He didn't have the dirty nasty in him. if he had a dirty nasty in him, he'd have been all right. But when he was with Floyd Mayweather Sr. was coaching him, he had some dog in him. I remember Adamick dropped Chad Dawson. He got up off the canvas and Floyd cussed him out, and he beat the dog walking shit out of Thomas Adamick. You know, I don't know if y'all remember that. Loma got that Mayweather defense with unique attack. Yep. Loma was perfect at, yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that shit no more. No offense. So all these questions about Loma and shit, y'all can have that. Yeah, Walter. Yeah, it was Walters, Jason Sosa, Rigondeaux. They said it was 4 in a row that he made quick. I can't remember who the other guy was, to be honest. Damn, this is the subscriber list long. I mean, the question list long. Alright, I'm gonna keep going. Jack froze off 2 grows right around the corner guard. Has a nice reception for ambient. But to be honest, Moraga, yeah, that's what Moraga. Good looking, fam. Who are these 2 guys? Pirate, Somalian Pirate, and King Gerard. Appreciate it. It was Moraga. It was at the Microsoft Center in LA, I believe, in California. But yeah, but as far as Stevenson and Jack, if I get back to the World Box Super Series tournament, Stevenson might have been a little bit weight drained, man. You know, he looked a lot smarter than Nathan Clevery in his last fight, but he's gonna be looking more fuller. I mean, maybe I'm being an optimist, but the World Box Super Series is doing 3 tournaments this season. Last year was the Cruiserweight. Obviously, they're waiting for Alexander Usyk to heal up, and it sounds like George Groves will be replaced by Chris Eubanks Jr. and fight Callum Smith in a super middleweight championship fight, World Box Super Series fight. Big prize money on the table. And then you got Callum Smith gonna kill his ass, but that's just my opinion on there. Don't forget to smash that like button, but let's subscribe if you haven't. And then you got and then they tried to do a junior middleweight one, man, but nobody wanted to do the junior middleweight last year. So this year you got the bantamweight, and I didn't think he was gonna get it any more better than the cruiserweight tournament, but they outdid themselves in the bantamweight. We talked about that. Then you got the junior welterweight who's starting to come together. If they could have got Mikey Garcia or Adrian Broner in that tournament, it would have been flames. But, you know, Mikey went back down because he was offered the invitation. He be on some bitch shit, dog. I like Mikey, but he a very scary individual, man. I don't care what nobody say. Yeah, we all tired of Stevenson. But they got one more tournament they doing. They said it's between middleweight and light heavyweight. It's not middleweight or middleweight and cruiserweight, you know. But most people believe it's gonna be light heavyweight. They're gonna do the tournament in, and why light heavyweight could work, to be honest. The best case scenario for this shit is Jack beats Stevenson, because they will never get Stevenson in that tournament. But if Jack beats Stevenson, okay, excuse me, Jack can enter the tournament because Jack is already committed to wanting to fight Kovalev, and I don't think he'd mind fighting Bivol. But if they can get Kovalev, if he can beat past Elir Alvarez, they can get Bivol. Let's just erase the Stevenson Jack winner right now. Let's say Jeff Stevenson's the favorite. He won't be joining. They can get Marcus Brown. They can get Alexander Gufik if Bob Barron wants to play nice. I mean, it's a lot of different guys they can get at that weight, you know. So you never know. So light heavyweight is rumored to be the third tournament that the World Boxing Super Series tournament is doing. And I will say this: if HBO doesn't pick up at least 2 of these tournaments, dog, and not at least they should pick up all 3. They should just retire, man, because they putting on bullshit. They should pick up some of these tournament fights this time. And I understand why Showtime won't pick up these tournament fights, because, you know, they not doing Fox and Spike and ESPN no more. They only have one primary platform they go to, and that's Showtime. So at the end of the day, they already increased they fight dates on Showtime. You know, they have. So HBO don't have no good credible fight dates. The only fight they got that's coming up that's worth it damn is a potential Canelo Triple G fight, and the double hitter by Kovalev fighting Elir Alvarez and Dimitri Bivol on the undercard. So HBO should pick up at least 1 or 2 of these tournaments, if not all 3. You know, they will have to talk about money and network and stuff of that nature. That'll be a topic. It had to probably be more U.S. fights than they would want. But when Tite want that exposure, when the Nuyuwa want that exposure, wouldn't Relic want to continue to get that exposure? When Josh Taylor want that U.S. exposure, he jumped in the tournament. They would want that U.S. exposure, man. You know, to be honest. So It'd be better if they just kept the tournament in the U.S., man, and get them guys this exposure. Mikey don't want to do shit but be a star, but he don't want to get his hands dirty to be a star. They lacking in the the heavyweight department. They do a heavy tournament and intern belt with some talent. I mean, with the Joshua and Wilder fight is really plugging up stuff. Yeah, the whole top rank left HBO. Crawford and Lomachenko is on ESPN now. Well, Crawford is on the ESPN Plus app. Now, if you don't know how to use the ESPN Plus app, or you're not familiar with the ESPN Plus app, I don't know how many of you guys use the ESPN app. I use it on my TV downstairs in my man cave, where I usually shoot some of my videos. Right now I'm in my bedroom. You basically you go to the ESPN app, you put your cable information in, whatever you do. You go all the way over to the right. It has ESPN Plus. They're having a special right now on the ESPN Plus app. Right now it's a special. You get it free for right now. I don't know how long, maybe 30 days. So I think 30 days will, at least right now, well, I don't know, what's it, the 12th or today about the 10th or some shit like that. If it's today the 10th, 11th, or 12th, it'll possibly drag you out to get the Jeff Horn and the Crawford fight for free. So you don't have to pay that $5. But it's $5 subscription. They got all the 30 for 30s on there, and they just signed if you like MMA, they just signed a UFC deal to exclusively stream some UFC fights on there. So they doing the damn thing with that app. I don't want to buy it and give Aaron no money, but I'm going to support Terrence Crawford. Al Heyman, because he is paying Mikey for some bullshit. Well, it seems like Mikey might be going close to signing with Dana White, too, to a multi-million-dollar deal. So I don't know what Dana White can do for him, you know, which I'll get into the Eddie Hearn thing a little bit later. Said he wants Crawford too. HBO is shit boxing. Who pays for that? If you don't like ESPN boxing right now, be here on my next stream between 5 and 6. And you really ain't gonna like the news that I got for y'all for that one, as far as paying for boxing. I have a clue what you were talking about, Robert Enter. Hold on, let me see Robert. I don't know what he said, but yeah, Mikey just selling, you know, using other niggas' names to counterpart itself. But other than that, I talked about the Callum Johnson situation. I was on the live stream with Fanai International yesterday. If you didn't catch it, go back and watch it. I was on there with Black Fight Fan. Homie got a lot of respect for me. I got a lot of respect for the dude. On there with Cali Enigma. Fanai, you know, he's a lawyer, so attorney, so you know. He always can get deep, and I got a question about some of the rules. He schooled me on the WBC rules, and that shit is like the wild, wild west. But other than that, what we got going on? Errol Smith's tickets is almost sold out at the 4-Star Center. I would love to go, but when I talk to my new hiring manager, if I choose to take this job, which is looking like I done fixed the situation, I'm gonna have to put accommodation in, or I'm gonna go out to Cali. For the Robert Jr. fight, if Bradley and Broner on there, but apparently WBC ordered a catchweight again versus Jesse Vargas and Broner. I see Punch quoting you know, Robert going at it. Yeah. Everybody got their different views, man. You know, that's why you got different channels out here. You got the Lions Den Box Community. I'm down 100 with them. You got guys in the YTBC and everybody in between, though. Everybody got different shit they bring to the table. I noticed that. Some people shit that I watch, they might look at it from a certain situation. They might say, well, Jamal Charlo, scared of Danny Jacobs, or they might say this and say that. You got fanboy channels. It's tough to decipher. Everybody brings something different from the table, but you gotta watch the ones that just bringing straight fiction to the table. You know, shout out to my homie Bo, Truth and Facts about boxing too, man. I ain't shot him out in a long time, man. But we gonna go ahead and hang this up. Like I said, I'm gonna be back about 5-6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and hopefully it don't rain or nothing. We gonna continue to talk about we're gonna talk about the Eddie Hearn, Danny Jacobs, Charlo situation, and Eddie Hearn major announcement. So who declined to fight, Jamal or Jacobs? Obviously, if you've been following it, it's been Danny Jacobs that continued to decline that fight. Jamal has not. Jamal is the one that pushed for the fight. And I'm gonna put you up on game right here, and how you know that Danny Jacobs didn't want the fight. I have the articles to prove it. You know, after he beat Luis Arias, this is not even my strongest argument. But after he beats Luis Arias, did Danny Jacobs call out Jamal Charlo? Could somebody answer me? When he beat Luis Arias, did Danny Jacobs call out Jamal Charlo? No, he did not call out Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo's been calling out Danny Jacobs before he got to the division. Mazuma TV has the video, man. He ain't been that active, so it shouldn't be that hard to find. Danny Jacobs at the bar, Jamal at the bar, probably drunk, saying that he knocks out him and Triple G the same night. So he ain't been shy about nothing that he been saying, though. He ain't been shy. Did Danny Jacobs ask for the fight at the Luis Arias fight? He did not. Danny Jacobs is only now asking for that fight is because his numbers suck and Eddie Hearns is losing money now. He barely filled up half the Barclays Center with 2 Brooklyn niggas on the card in Brooklyn. Now he won, oh yeah, Jamal Charlo. But what people don't know is Jamal Charlo sat by where Danny Jacobs had to walk by when Danny pulled up on him. He sat there. He knew Danny Jacobs had to walk past him. Eddie Hearns on Google that have the articles. Eddie Hearns is on paper saying we're not interested in the Jamal Charlo fight right now. No, we don't want the Jamal Charlo fight. And then again, I can make my strongest fact right here, and I'm gonna end on this. The WBC goes down the line, man, for the interim title. Canelo was number 1, but remember he was beefing with the WBC. Number 2 was Jamal Charlo. Number 2 was Canelo. Number 1 was Jamal Charlo. 2 was Canelo. 3 was Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs was offered that fight. He could have fought for the interim title. Number 4 was Hugo Centennial Jr. So they went down the line, and then Charlo just said, I can get rid of Hugo Centennial Jr., and you can get rid of Magic Man Lucky, and we can fight right now. We can just crash and we can make a fight day. Danny Jacobs didn't want to answer that knock on the door. And not only that, too. Danny Jacobs said, I was just calling out Golovkin. I really didn't want to fight Golovkin I didn't really want to fight Golovkin. I was just, calling him out. He called my bluff. And that's the situation, man. Y'all can make it whatever y'all want to see. Y'all see, y'all want to twist it because you don't like Charlo, but the facts remain. Did Jacobs call him out at the Luis Arias fight? No, he did not. Before that, Eddie Hearn, before and after the Luis Arias fight, we not interested in Danny Jacobs. He says we not interested in Danny Jacobs. He says it. No, we gonna do something else. And the reason why they wasn't interested in Danny Jacobs, Danny Jacobs wasn't interested in Jamal Charlo, is because they thought HBO was gonna give them a rematch with Triple G or deliver them a Canelo fight. And then Peter Nielsen said right above Eddie Hearn's shoulder, and I research this shit all the time. So if y'all are more interested in that topic and what Eddie Hearn got planned, this big announcement that he's making, and some more Charlo and some more Danny Jacobs talk, there's some more probably other news that's gonna come across my plate. Make sure y'all hit 5 and 6. Turn the bell icon on my page. If you ain't subscribed, subscribe button, the bell icon, so y'all know exactly when I'm at least go live. When I drop a video, y'all know what it is. TBC and more. Shout out to the super chat. We gone.